Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation on Change My Reality. How can we use augmented reality technology to build brand experiences? This is a presentation I gave at Manchester Tech Festival in 2023, and I want to come on to my predictions for 2024 and the years beyond. So what are we talking about when we refer to augmented reality? This is an immersive technology. I'm going to go through what immersive technology is and where this technology, this amazing technology, is going to take us. So we're going to look at how it is used, how we can build it, and where the tech is going to take us in the future, and what possibilities we can use with the technology. First of all, I want to give you an introduction to myself. So if you're not familiar with myself, I'm Keith Myers. I am the creative director of AVimmerse, and we create breathtaking immersive experiences for brands. I've worked as a creative director for AVimmerse for 5 years now, and we've been making brand experiences for the NHS. We've worked with Gymshark and fashion brands. I'm also a trainer of Unity technology, so I teach people how to make technology. I've created work for Manchester International Festival as an artist myself. My career really began as a filmmaker before retraining as an augmented and virtual reality developer. And I've probably gone on to train hundreds of people, both nationally and internationally. Worked with partners in Saudi Arabia, within the UK, within academia. I've worked with the University of Manchester, Oxford University, and I'm a long-standing partner with the University of Manchester. And I've taught a lot of people from postgraduate to undergraduate, for PhDs to professors. So I want to try and share that experience and that wealth of knowledge with you. Some of the projects that we work on, we make medtech training using virtual reality. So we've done quite a few projects now where we created training simulators for the medical sector. We use augmented and virtual realities to create engineering training, and we work with fashion brands, as I mentioned earlier. I love heritage. My passion is heritage. So when we get to work on augmented and virtual reality projects within the heritage sector, that for me is the golden moments. And I think that's something I'm going to come back to later on and point you towards, because this is where this technology is really exciting. During COVID as well, we've made a lot of experiences for theatre and brands. One of the most recent experiences as of making this video was to make a video or a VR experience for Hull Truck Theatre to show the effects of climate change. And we've probably made 50 plus experiences now with augmented and virtual reality and TV and film. As I alluded to a moment ago, my passion is technology and heritage. So I'm really interested in how we can fuse these things together to make breathtaking immersive experiences. That is the brand motto of AVimmerse. But I think heritage has got a particularly important part to play in this, because heritage is the golden opportunity, which I'm going to explain in a moment. So first of all, before we come back to that, what is augmented reality? So AR, the acronym, is a technology that superimposes a computer-generated image on the user's view of the real world, thus providing a composite view. That is according to the Oxford Dictionary. But we might think about it as a technology that is overlaid in the real world. We use something like a smartphone to do that, of course. There are many examples of this, and the most ubiquitous is Pokemon Go. This is the one that we keep on using again. Circa 2015, 2016, around that time, Pokemon Go really exploded onto the scene. I don't think we've quite seen something as big in augmented reality as that. But it's much more than Pokemon Go, of course. We're talking about extended reality technologies here. We're talking about augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. These technologies fusing together to really coalesce and create this ecosystem of new technologies for us. But we must be important that we remember the composite reasons why we're actually using these technologies and what this technology can do. And I'll come on to that in a moment. The types of augmented reality you might now be familiar with are filters. So using the filters to create these bunny ears and this type of face that you see here in the top right. We've also got applications that we can make with Unity, the game engine, Unreal, another game engine, plus others as well. Most recently, we've seen the acquisition of WebAR by the Eighth Wall. They combined or bought out Niantic, who made Pokemon Go. So we're starting to see this cloud computing and this next generation of augmented reality start to grow in popularity and ease. And I think that's where we're going to see some really interesting things happen. Some other examples here of the filters, you might have seen these kind of things. I mentioned the bunny ears in the bottom left. These are kind of a trope. You might make these using Instagram, or you might use something like Snapchat. There are two software platforms you can use to make those, which I'll come on to in a moment. But ultimately, these are filter-based experiences we're talking about. This is one type of augmented reality. We can also build applications. We would predominantly use the Unity game engine ourselves to make an application, publish that on a store, but you can also do that with the Unreal game engine. These are two examples of the experience. We've made the Megalithic Explorer, which allows you to unearth ancient history, and the Carbon Landscape augmented reality experience. I think that's very exciting, using mapping technology to actually go on a journey and understand where we can actually physically see these things in our environment. Another example here, these kind of IKEA apps as well, where you can augment or create furniture in your own settings. So this is an example of applications that you can create as well. Where did it all begin, though? I mean, this is not just began out of nowhere. This is a very similar trope when I might be explaining virtual reality, because there's some crossovers here. In 1968, Ivan Sutherland, a Harvard professor and computer scientist, created the world's first head-mounted display called the Sword of Damocles. In 1974, we had computer researchers at the University of Connecticut calling things video places. And these kind of terms start to merge together. We start to think about computers and technology in a different way. We start to think about the human or the human computer interface with these technologies. The journey continued, of course. We're jumping right the way forward now to the 1990s. Boeing researchers coining the term augmented reality, which obviously we're talking about smartphones and devices we can actually see the world through. Another example of that, of course, is tablet devices as well. And I'll come on to the headset devices in a moment. In 1992, you have the US Air Force. They started to describe things using virtual fixtures. And then by 2014, we, of course, had Google Glass. Everyone remembers Tom Hanks and various other celebrities promoting this augmented reality glasses, but that didn't actually work out. And there's a reason for that I'm going to come on to towards the end of this presentation when we look at this in more detail. Of course, everyone remembers last year or the beginning of 2022 now, when we started to talk about the metaverse. Everyone got very excited about the concept of what the metaverse was. I think it's fair to say 2023 has been the year of artificial intelligence. Everyone's got really excited. What will be 2024? Well, we'll come on to that in a moment. So Facebook rebranded in 2021. They wanted to deflect a lot of the negative attention upon them. And they also wanted to tap into this idea of this interconnected meta and universe, or a metaverse, as Mark Zuckerberg called it. These ideas existed since 1996 by Neil Stephenson's popularization or characterization of a metaverse. These are not necessarily new ideas. It's just that big tech companies are using them to propel their own ideas and get investment for the future. How do we build these applications, though? Well, there are various tools that we can actually use. We can use things like Unity, which is a game engine I mentioned before. We've got Metaspark AR, which is what you would use when using Facebook, or what's called Meta now, to make the filters. You can also use Lens Studio. That is an application that you can use to make apps for Snapchat. Then you've got the Eighth Wall, which I think is particularly exciting, where you can create cloud-based augmented reality experiences. However, I do think that's a little bit costly at the moment, and the technology is still developing. There are other spaces emerging. We've got Wonderland Engine, amongst others. So that's just a very quick tour de force of different applications that are available. Within Unity, within the game engine Unity, it's very, very powerful, because you can actually take that game engine and you can build augmented reality, you can build virtual reality, and you can make mixed reality applications as well. Mixed reality being the headset devices where you can actually see through the environment and actually have an augmented reality experience. So think about your mobile phone being strapped to your head, really. You can actually physically interact with the physical and the digital. But Unity affords us the opportunity to use what's called the AR Foundation or Augmented Reality Foundation. And within that, I will draw your attention to these two bottom icons, the AR Core and the AR Kit. These pretty much power probably 90% of all mobile devices, one of which is iOS devices and Android devices. These are the software development kits that you use for those. So by using something as powerful as Unity, you can actually make amazing experiences. If you are a developer yourself and you want to learn about this, then there's loads of help online to actually create augmented reality within Unity. And it's not just about augmented reality. We've got virtual reality and mixed reality as well. What can the technology do though? Well, technology can provide a simulated world. We can actually, I think, more importantly, have the interactions, the moments that allow us to physically interact with the world around us. These components aren't just about augmented reality, they're about immersive technologies. But in terms of augmented reality, I think what's particularly important to underline here is the ability to interact with the physical world. And that is the real power of augmented reality, the ability to actually physically touch something in the real world. And we're going to go over what that means for mixed reality in a moment, but just keep that in your mind, the ability to interact. Of course, as well, when we lose ourselves in that moment, when we are fully immersed, we forget we're having an experience with technology. And that's the real genie in the bottle, or the lightning bolt escaping from the jar, if you like, moments. It's those moments of magic. Where is this all heading, though? I mean, what is the point of having these technologies? Well, I think something very exciting is happening, in particular with something called immersive maps. What Google are doing with their immersive maps platform is particularly exciting. The integration of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and immersive maps all coming together is really what's going to drive and be the powerful force of experiences in the future. And I think this is what's going to happen. We're going to have more adept systems that are going to allow us more ease of access to create things at our disposal with our mobile phones. But this is going to change the way we interact as human beings within our environment. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that in a moment. Other things as well on neural fields, or nerves as it's called. There's an actual more technical term that, but nerves are fundamentally a series of images that you can stitch together to create immersive experiences, or 360 photos or video fly-throughs. You might have seen these clever apps where you can take a series of images or videos and you can create these fly-throughs and look like drone videos. But these integrations, where the technology is heading with immersive maps, what Google is doing, is particularly important, because we're now living in this world where all these technologies are converging together. We've got immersive tech, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, but it goes beyond that. We've got LiDAR, the ability to see beneath the canopy of the world using drones with LiDAR attached. LiDAR is essentially a laser scanning device that allows you to create point cloud data or interpret the environment. But it's got so much application. And when you combine those things with artificial intelligence, you can start to read the environment and to create these experiences. When we add machine learning, the ability for machines to learn from this data, then we're starting to get something really exciting. All of these technologies, of course, is what Ray Kurzweil coined the robotic age. I think that's where we're heading. We're really starting to see these technologies come together and converge at once. And it's particularly exciting for augmented reality, but something else as well. This is just an example of how these technologies might be used. So you've got the mapping using the LiDAR on the image on the left there to create these immersive maps. And then you've got the NERFs, or the neural fields here, where you create a series of images together or videos together, and you create these fly-throughs. This is really exciting for us to create immersive experiences. What is happening now? Well, we've started to see the augmented reality start to become mixed reality, because what happened recently is Meta, or formerly Facebook, released their mixed reality headset, the Meta Quest 3. And that's really interesting because you can scan your environment and you can have a mixed reality simulation or experience. What does mixed reality mean? Well, it's fundamentally you're able to interact with the digital, but you can see through a device like a headset, and you can actually start to touch or have feedback from that environment. There's obviously more to it than just that, but fundamentally, this is where this future technology is going. There is obvious overlaps with the terminologies of the technology. We've seen Apple release their Vision Pro, which isn't mixed reality. It's a spatial device. It's something slightly different, but they're in the game now as well. And we cannot ignore what Apple are doing with this technology as well. There are others entering the market as well, of course, but I think the introduction of the Meta Quest 3 by Mark Zuckerberg's company, Meta, love them or hate them, is really a big game changer. But it's not the finished article. Because we've been here before, we've had Google Glass, Tom Hanks promoting this device. Now, why did that fail? Well, you could say the market wasn't ready. We could say the technology wasn't ready, or we could say people were just not buying it. And I think it was all three of those things. The market wasn't fertile enough. The devices were too expensive. I don't think Google really understood what it was doing at that moment. But fast forward, and we've also had other devices, Magic Leap 1, Magic Leap 2, excuse me. We've had Magic Leap 1, which is these kind of whale videos. You're seeing this in the top left here, where these whales are jumping out the gymnasium. I was treated to this for a number of years. I was like, where's my whale? Where's this going to jump from the ground? It didn't happen. Then we had a Magic Leap 2, which is pretty much a repeat of the funding for Magic Leap 1, as far as I can tell. And again, I'm still waiting to actually access this device, but it's untenable. Mixed reality from Microsoft. We had the HoloLens, we had the HoloLens 1, HoloLens 2, and then the HoloLens 3 was pulled. Do you remember during COVID when you had all these beautiful videos of the Microsoft Teams workspace and we were all going to have this future together, this new world? But that never happened because the funding got pulled for the mixed reality or the HoloLens 3 device. So we have to be careful. And we're living in this world now where often the marketing hype is beyond what the technology can do. And it's really important to focus on what the technology can do. Technology is only ever a vehicle. Because the year before this, we had the Metaverse. Everyone was getting very excited. We're all going to have this interconnected world. The interoperability everyone was talking about never materialized. We're still not having PCs talking to MacBooks very well and things like this. Your Apple device not talking to your Google device because everyone's concerned about their own technological ecosystem. So don't be taken away with the hype of a Metaverse. I'm not saying a Metaverse isn't going to happen, but what I am saying is perhaps the technological term and the excitement around this isn't best served by getting excited by a term. It's really better served about what we can do for the consumer and what we can create. And I've been working in immersive tech since 2015. It's going to be 9 years now. My 9 years experience in working in immersive technology leads me to believe that it should be about giving people meaningful experiences with technology and not the other way around. Because next 3 to 5 years, of course, nobody understands the future, but we can make some predictions about where we've been before and examine what we're doing now to try and predict that future. We've seen Apple release a Vision Pro headset. Lynx are releasing their headset as well. We've got other players coming into the field as well. I believe the Chinese company Pixelmax, they're doing something as well. And we've got other players coming into this fray as well. Meta's release of the Quest 3, I think, has been a game changer. So where are we going then? So I believe in the next 3 to 5 years, I'm going to put my neck on the line. But my big prediction for 2014 is that mixed reality is going to be the new buzzword. Mixed reality is going to be the new AI or the new metaverse. It's going to be an amalgamation of other things. AI is going to still be in the forefront, and it's going to be AI that drives a lot of this technology. We're going to be able to have mixed reality experiences in the future, next 3 to 5 years. We're going to be able to have those shared experiences, and we're going to be able to have shared heritage experiences. They're going to really grow. And I think for me, there's a really exciting opportunity for mixed reality heritage experiences where we're going to be able to go to a landscape and start to have heritage experiences and understand the history around that landscape and interact with it in new and exciting ways. And in the UK in particular, we're uniquely poised to take advantage of that because we've got such a rich tapestry of history relatively contained to a small geographical area. So there's a real advantage to creating heritage experiences in the UK. The tech's going to become cheaper. We've seen that continue. Some people are asking me about market forces. Yes, market forces are real. We cannot control market forces in isolation. Tech will fluctuate, determined by the market. But mixed reality is going to start to become more widely used within 5 years within secondary school education. We've already seen this, of course, with virtual reality. And then my big prediction, within 5 to 10 years, mixed reality consumer devices are going to overtake the TV. Now, that might seem fantasy, you might not think that, but if you think about what a TV represents, it represents a static device in every home. What we're going to start to see in the next 5 years is devices in every home, a pair of glasses where you just put them on. Why would you do that over a TV? Well, the reason why is because eventually it's going to become cheaper to do that, and we're going to need to work out ways of using less as the climate change issue grows. So we're going to need to start thinking about being more streamlined. And I think those forces are going to drive us to adopt these technologies. We're going to start to see technology, or this mixed reality technology, come into the consumer space more with gaming and entertainment and social. And that's the real game changer. If you want to try some brand experiences, then you can try augmented reality experience for the big fix up using Wallet and Gromit's augmented reality app. That's a really great one to understand how Unity technology works. Likewise, if you want to understand augmented reality and go through portals to other worlds, I think this is particularly exciting and interesting. Is Mission to Mars augmented reality? It's pretty great to be able to step through these portals. If you imagine that in mixed reality, it's really exciting. We've already had fashion brands and consumer technology and electronics and things like furniture try things as well. John Lewis have done things with augmented reality, as have IKEA as well. We made a megalithic explorer app a few years ago that allows you to step through Neolithic sites in Britain. We're looking to try and get funding more for that because we want to develop that more. And I think that's really exciting to actually go on and adventure and explore ancient sites. And I think that's where the technology, for me, is really, really exciting. These are other apps as well we made. We made the Carbon Landscape Augmented Reality that is free. That allows you to explore a physical area of what's called a carbon landscape. We're in development with other partners at the moment. The Carbon Landscape app looks like this over a physical area where you can actually unearth the history over a mapped terrain. So if you do live in Salford or Wigan or Lee, you will see physical apps around the lake, or Pennington Flashes it's called. There are physical signs up to download the app there. I just want to say thank you very much for listening today. I'm really keen to collaborate with businesses that want to build brand experiences that excel and connect with their customers, because I want to continue to develop XR solutions in the future. Those are my predictions for 2024. I wish you a safe and Merry Christmas and a great New Year. And thank you very much for listening to me. And please do get in touch if you have any questions. My email address is keith@avimmerse.co.uk. That's keith@avimmerse.co.uk. And if you're watching this elsewhere, then please do check out our website, avimmerse.com. We want to continue to create breathtaking immersive experiences for our clients and really shine a light on the amazing work our clients do. Thank you very much for listening, and all the best.